All right, so yesterday for your assignment, you had a Toblerone chocolate bar just like this one here, which is a triangular prism. Who remembers how we know it's a triangular prism? Justin?
Because it has two triangular faces and three rectangular faces.
That's right. And more importantly, these two triangles are opposite to each other and they're congruent. They're exactly the same. That helps us with our calculations. That's great. So we have a triangular prism here, and our job was to figure out the total surface area of this triangular prism. And the way we do that, we've been practicing is, who would like to remind me how we figure it out? So surface area of a triangular prism. How do we figure that out? Mike?
Is it like you have to find out the base of the triangle?
So you mean this part here? So what do I have to find out about the base of the triangle? This triangle?
Which is it, and the height?
So I need to find out the area of the base triangle, which is this one here, or it could be this one here. It doesn't matter if it's that's why they call it the base triangle. So we need to find out the area of that base triangle at the bottom, and then we need to do what with that?
And then you have to measure the height of your shape.
Close. That's close, Mike. You might be getting mixed up with volume, which we'll talk about after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm glad. That's a common mistake. I'm glad you brought that up. We'll move on to volume afterwards. So if we find the area of the base triangles, what else do we need to find the surface area of this box? Sarah. Sarah.
You have to find the area of all the faces, and then you add them
Rectangular faces. So I want to find the area of the triangle faces, plus I want to find the area of the rectangle faces, and add them together, and that will give me my surface area. So the next step you had to do is measure it, and here's my ruler. To find out the area of a triangle, we need to measure its height, so up, down like that, and we also need to measure its base along the bottom like that, and we need to divide it by 2. So I'm going to measure it here. This is not a very good ruler because it doesn't have my millimeters on it, but the trick is you don't want to start at the edge of the ruler like that. You want to start at the 0, and some people made that mistake on their work. So you want to start at the 0, and it's slightly out of focus. I apologize. But my answer currently is let me just take it off so I can see it a little better. Two point 2.6. So I want to write that down. So a triangle face, the height was 2.6 centimeters. Now I'm going to measure the base. Hold on. Now I'm measuring the base, starting at the 0, not the edge. Being exact as possible. Looks like I have 2. I'm going to say 2.8. But that's okay. If you got, now to clarify with your answers, if you had said 2.9 or if you said 2.5 here, I would accept those as correct. So if you're like 1 digit off with your points, not a big deal. You're still pretty close to getting it correct. If you said 3 is too big, it's clearly not 3. Now, next step. Hold on. I'm not able to go forward if we don't figure this out. So now that I know the area of the triangle face, I have to multiply base times height divided by 2, which equals 2.6 times 2.8 centimeters divided by 2, which equals
I got it. 3.64.
divided by 2, 3.64. Thank you. So each triangle has this area on it. So triangle number 1, squared. And triangle number 2. Now we need to do the rectangles. When we do the rectangles, I think almost everybody agreed that when you measured the long side of this, the height of our 3D solid, it came out to 16.5. If you said 16.6, that's acceptable as well. So I'll use 16.6. So we know the long side is 16.6, all of them. Then we need to know the size of our triangle, this part here. Because if we're measuring the area of this rectangle here, we need to know what this side here is. You can use a ruler and measure it. It's just a little shy of 3. It's going to be 2.8. It's okay. Thanks. It's okay. I'm done. This is the last one. And my last step is the bottom one, which we already know the bottom is 2.8 right there, so I can put 2.8 right there. All right, so what's the area of our triangles? Area of this triangle is 16.6 times 2.8. Sorry, rectangle times 2.8 is 46.48. This one is the same thing, 46.48. And this one here is 16.6 times 2.8 equals 46.48. And our last step, we have to add them all up together. So 3.64 plus 3.64 plus 46.48, 46.48 plus is that right? That's right. This is wrong. Oh, that's right. Yeah, 46.48. I did it right. Sorry, got confused with myself. All right, so now we add it all together using a calculator. Make sure we're 100% correct. That's not right. I don't think, no, yeah, I probably hit the wrong button. There we go. Let's see. So your final area should be that. Now, for the last step for volume, how do we figure out the volume of our triangular prism? What was the volume for triangular prism? Brandon?
Volume for triangular prism?
Yeah. It's not up there, that's why. How about Sachi?
Base times height divided by 2 times the height. That's right, yeah.
So the area of the base, which in this case is a triangle, so that's base times height divided by 2. And then we need to do times the height of the prism, which we know is this part here, the long part, and we know it's 16.6 centimeters. Up here, we also know that the area from earlier of one triangle is 3.64. So now you have to times this number by this number, and when you do that, 3.64 times 16.6. How much chocolate can our box hold? It can hold up to a maximum of 1, 60.42 centimeters cubed. I'll just type that in again, make sure it's right. Yeah. So those are your two answers. On your test, if you did the following, is how you got your marks. Did you try to find the surface area and the volume? Did you have the right formulas and the right procedures? Did you have drawings explaining your math? Did you have calculations showing your math? Did you have almost correct numbers in your measurements? And then did you have an almost correct answer? So when I pass back your work, you can talk with your partner and see where your mistakes were. I'll leave this up on the board so that way you can see it, to try to figure it out if there's any problems. And you can move over to your partner.